Right, here we are again once again on the jet ski. I've got rather an interesting rig here, so what's my plan? Well, I firmly believe the ski has a cracked cylinder head. I kind of bought this thing on the cheap, so I don't want to, and I don't have time to pull the thing apart and spend thousands of dollars on a cylinder head. So what have I got here? Da-da-da. Head gasket in a bottle. This stuff, it's actually pretty good. It's basically a sealant. You put it through your coolant system. This is in a car I'm talking about, and it seals up cracks in your cylinder head or a head gasket. Now, I believe it's a cracked head. It's not leaking into the combustion chamber. It's leaking into the cam cover. Apparently, that's what these things are known for. So, what's my plan? Well, in there I have your. It's just your standard sort of bilge pump from a boat. 12-volt battery there. Just got that on charge just because that battery's quite old and I do not want this running out while I do it. And yeah, the hose goes back to the flushing point. Now, one thing I'm going to go before I put there's a few concerns here. Number one, it's going to get hot. Obviously, we're recycling what's draining out of the ski, and yeah, it's not getting cool. So obviously, I'm not going to be able to do this for like an hour straight, or under full load. So I'm going to have to sort of stop and start. Second concern, the intercooler and the exhaust. Because with the ski the water flows through those things. Well, I don't really need the intercooler coated. There's no leak there. And the exhaust, well, I'm going to have to put up with some of that because you can't just leave it sitting here idling without any coolant going to the exhaust. It'll just melt the inside of the ski, So what I'm going to go and do now is have a look at the coolant flow chart or whatever it is in the manual, and have a look and see, well, while it's running off the flushing point, can I just shut off the flow to the intercooler, and will it still have somewhere to go? So yeah, I'll go and do that now, because there's no need to put coolant through the intercooler. The exhaust, I mean, I'm going to have to, some of this stuff is going to end up coated on the inside of the exhaust. But yeah, be very wary to restrict flow through the exhaust, because if that gets hot, well, it's gonna start melting things. So I'm gonna go and have a look at my coolant diagram, see what I can or can't shut off with a pair of vice grips, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I had a look at the picture, and basically that's the end result. According to the diagram, that's the flushing water coming from the flushing point to the intercooler. So we don't need that. And the two lines at the bottom basically are two different. One's a drain and the other one is a line that comes from the impeller from the jet pump. So basically when the jet pump's running, there's not enough. It fills the intercooler from the bottom up to the top. Some comes out the drain, but the rest goes up at the top through into the motor. Yeah, so all right, I'll show you how this works. It's going to get noisy. So that's running. As you can see, it's blowing a little bit of smoke. Not really unexpected. Alright, well, you get the idea. Righto, so you see what I mean. Anyway, as you can see, she's a little smoky. You see that's coming out there now. That wasn't coming out so much before. I might try just jacking the front of this thing up. Yeah, jack it up. It's probably easier to put a block or something. All right, I'll do that and be back in a minute. All right, the moment of truth. Alright, so why have I stopped it? Why does it pour out there like that? Alright. Anyway, yeah, why have I stopped it? Well, it's getting hot. I think this is going to have to be a slow process over a number of hours of basically just cycling it, getting it up to temperature. Look at that water there. I think what I'm going to go and do is get my drill, and I've got one of those attachments for stirring a jar of paint. I'm just going to stir that there because it looks like all the good stuff is just sort of settled on the bottom. So yeah, all right, I'll see you back here in an hour or two. All right, so I've just given it another run with my paint stirrer in there. As you can see, all the little metallic particles are nicely stirred up, but yeah, once again it's gotten pretty hot pretty quickly. So yeah, basically you've just got to shut the pump off. You kind of got to time it. So you got to shut the pump off, let all the coolant drain out, and give it a couple of a rev or two, and then shut it off. And yeah, so by then it's yeah, it's pretty warm. I think I might have to leave that for a few hours. I've got to go down the shops and do a bit of shopping, so I might just leave this sitting, and this might even be sort of a 2-day thing. Just come out here once every few hours and start it up, start the pump up, give it a stir, and see what happens. Yeah, and then yeah, at some point in the future I'm going to have to take it out for a run. The oil, I should mention that I've changed this oil like I think 3 or 4 times, and let's have a look. Still a bit of milkiness there, but I'm guessing, well, just my belief that while it's flushing like this, it's not going to force water into the oil, because the pressure is just nothing. You know, like the pressure coming out like this little squirter here at full noise. I mean, you wash a truck with it. You know, like it hammers out. I think there's a lot of pressure there, and combined with the engine having a lot of heat, so under load, those little cracks open up, and yeah, that's when the water just squeezes through. So yeah, all right, well, I'm going to do some shopping. Right, well, just going to keep doing that. Yeah. See you in a couple of days. Alright, we'll just have a look. I've been running this for a while, and you can see the oil, it's still got a little bit of cloudiness in it. So maybe, yeah, I think maybe I will change it out. Like I said, I don't believe that the flush water as such is pushing its way into the oil, but yeah. Still some cloudiness there. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a change. Yeah, maybe I'll give it an oil change and refill and keep on flushing. Something to do while the motor cools down anyway. Righto, so another day back out of the jet ski, and I've noticed that my tub here, we seem to have clear water on top. With the yeah, clear water on top, with just the sort of those tinsely pieces floating around inside it. It's like the sort of the purplish water is, well, it's all clear now, so I'm hoping that's because a lot of stuff has coated itself on the inside of the motor, which is what we want. So anyway, I've got another tub of this stuff, and I'm going to pour it in. Give that a stir. And we'll start it up, start our pump, see what happens. Righto, so here we are back in the carport. Come back, had a little bit of a mishap. We kind of got the ski up on its side and threw us both off, which is a little bit more exciting than I wanted. have I solved the problem? Well, I don't think so. If you look here, I'll just have yeah. Definitely looks watery to me, but then when you look inside there, it actually looks cleaner now than it did before. Now, when I had this oil cap off before, I could see there was like thick white sludge in there. So I actually was thinking of taking the cam cover off and just vacuuming the whole lot out. So is that what I'm seeing there? Is that fresh water that's been pushed into the engine? I'm not sure. Or is it the old sludge that's just been churned up and basically, yeah, foamed up and pushed all around the motor again. The oil is still milky, as you can see. A little bit milky, but again, is that just the is that just what was in there previously that's now you know, with a few sort of 5,000 rpm 7,000 rpm pulls has just mixed with everything else and mixed with the fresh oil? I'm not sure. So what I think I might do, so I'm going back to work tomorrow, so I won't be doing anything more for a while, is I might take the cam cover off, vacuum out all the sludge, all the white sludge, do another oil change, and this time I'll go out on the river. We went out on the ocean today, and it was just really choppy and horrible, and my missus got upset. She got really upset when I threw her in the ocean, or threw both of us in the ocean. I've pulled the plugs. I've got, yeah, it's a bit hard to see in the light, but it doesn't look like water's going into the cylinders, and I mean it runs mint. So have I solved it? At this point I don't think so, or I'm not sure. Yeah, I need to, yeah, like I said, pull the cam cover off, vac out the sludge, because I mean I disconnected the line from the catch can to the intake today to what do they call it, lubricate the supercharger, what do they call it, just give it a squirt. And yeah, that line is just like solid, you know, well, not solid, but you know, it's full of the white sludge. So yep, I think it's that'll be the next step. And yeah, I really need to get it out on the yeah, clean as much sludge out as I can, and then get it out on the river, and where it's, you know, it's nearly always flat, and just go hell for leather and find out 100% sure whether the problem's still occurring. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to release this video even though the results are inconclusive, simply because I haven't put much out in a while, and well, I want to give you some idea of what I've been up to. And yeah, as I said, this isn't something you sort of want to do. I'm saying you should do and then sell the ski and say, yeah, it's all good. No, I'm not saying you should do that at all. But if you pick one of these things up cheap and you just want to thrash it around for a while before it inevitably dies, well, yeah, this is an option. Because I mean, the way I'm looking at this now, well, I mean, I've got a registered trailer, and then well, got the buggy over here, and I've actually got a ZX14 motor to go in that buggy. And if this thing ends up in the scrapyard, well, I'll take the supercharger. So I have a supercharged ZX14 buggy, so it's not all downside. Yeah, that's about it. All right. Hopefully next time, well, I'll probably be, when I come back from work, I'll probably be back on the Cerbero, get that back together. And then the next time you see this, hopefully I'll be out in the river going hell for leather and see what happens. All right, till then, catch you later.